Hi there, my name is Sunil Kumar and I'm going to talk about my research work on critically sampled wavelet filter banks on graphs. The motivation is that graphs provide a flexible model to represent many data sets such as high dimensional data, transport networks, social networks, network control, and many more examples. Algebraically, graph can be represented as G is equal to VEW, where V are the set of nodes, which are data points, E are the links connecting these nodes, and W are the weights on the link, which represent similarity or differences, etc. The data on these nodes is a collection of discrete samples referred to as graph signals, and my research question really is how to analyze, compress, and store these graph signals. Why wavelets? In many of the graph dataset, massive sizes is a problem. In yet another applications, the data exchanges are costly because there are bandwidth, latency, energy issues. So the solution is to provide a coarse approximation of these graphs and operate on smaller graphs with fewer nodes, such that the data on the smaller graph represent a smooth approximation of the original data. And this is similar to what wavelet approximation does for this digital signal processing domain. So let us see what that is. It's a popular tool in compression, analysis and storage of images, and in fact it's a part of JPEG 2000 standard. And a given image is decomposed into 4 subband images of roughly 1/4 of the size, where one of the band provides a smooth approximation of the original signal and the remaining are detailed coefficient required to perfectly reconstruct the original image. The problem, however, are that these are designed for uniformly sampled signals and therefore cannot be applied for dataset with arbitrary location and connectivity. So this is how I formulate my problem from image to graph. I first view an image as a graph with pixel as nodes, and then I extend it to the situations with irregular grids with missing samples and noisy locations, and then to completely arbitrary graph with arbitrary locations and connectivity. The challenges are, of course, that there are no Euclidean embeddings and therefore no obvious orientations to filter and downsample. My key contributions are that I define downsampling upsampling operation on graphs and design critically sampled 2-channel wavelet filter bank on graphs using these concepts. The design come in 2 flavors, and I'm going to talk about the second approach, which is spectral wavelet based filter bank. The general idea is to, given a graph, decompose it into k bipartite subgraph using an iterative decomposition scheme, the details of which I'll skip now. Given such a decomposition, I implement a 2-channel wavelet filter bank stage by stage on bipartite graphs B1, B2, Bk, such that at the kth stage, I restrict filtering and downsampling operation only on the links on Bk. This leads to a k-dimensional separable filter bank. As an example, let's see images where each pixel can be connected to 8 of its neighbors. The decomposition into bipartite graph is shown here. As we see that using our proposed formulation on graph, the wavelet coefficients are much sparser using our formulation than the standard wavelet filter banks. This is useful, for example, in nonlinear approximation applications where the reconstructed images are much sharper and better than the standard techniques. More general application is Minnesota traffic graph, and where the data can represent low traffic, high traffic scenario. These are the 2 bipartite subgraph decomposition using our decomposition technique, and this leads to 2-dimensional decomposition, 2-dimensional wavelet decomposition. These are the reconstructed signal using each channel wavelet coefficient, and we see LL channel provide a low pass approximation, while the other channel are the wavelet provide the details and where the discontinuities are. We are working on a lot more other problems, so if in case you are interested, you can find more information on our web link. Thank you very much.